How you? How you been? Are you alright? Okay, we're gonna start a new. Well, the same unit. We were yesterday in Unit 10. We haven't finished Unit 10, but we will finish it today probably. Our main topic. Last time we were reading about the Vikings. It was such an interesting, well, in my case, I consider such an interesting history. Well, here is like a summary of the history of Vikings. And if you really like the culture, the ancient civilizations, you can watch the TV series. I highly recommend. You can practice your English as well there because they are foreigners. Some of them aren't English people. They are from Denmark, from Scandinavian countries, and they are easy to understand. So I highly recommend watching this TV show with English subtitles. Our homework was the vocabulary part. It was the Vikings. Tended. It goes with what? It was related to this book, to this text. Tended what? Do you remember? Ellie, Litzy, Jessica, Sarai. No, tended what? Okay, we move on. Carp.
Cattle.
Sorry.
To be the cattle.
The cattle.
The cattle.
Okay.
And the rear. Okay.
Carp. No, actually it's a stone. Carved stone. Here, let's see if it's tended livestock. Is correct. Traded. Traded what? What do they trade?
Trade with goods.
Yeah, it goes with goods. It is correct. Raided. If we remember, raided is like invading, and stealing. That's raid. Goes with
monasteries.
Monasteries, exactly. They destroy, they steal. Worship. Worship what?
With gods.
Okay, let's see if it's correct. It is correct. Worship gods. Exorted. Exorted what?
Like today, with money.
Yeah. Settle. They settle. They establish in
lands.
Correct, in many lands. They prepared. They mounted.
Expeditions.
Yeah, indeed, Ali. Thank you. And explore. Finally, it goes with far and wide. No, far and wide. Okay, those words, those expressions were related to the text, obviously. Okay, let's move on to Our next page is about listening and pronunciation. Rhyme. The reason, it says, close your eyes, listen to a poem of Lewis Carroll. Lewis Carroll, it's a writer. It was a very important writer. He wrote The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland. Who has seen this film? Have you seen this film, guys? Alice, The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland. And actually, there are other Alice in the mirror or something like that. Have you seen this movie, these films?
Yes, I watched this film. Oh, I
Oh.
saw.
Yeah, it's the same. I watched, I saw. The live action, which one prefer more? The live action or the oldie? The oldie was the cartoon. In this, both are in Disney, I think. No, don't you remember this film? Ellie, Sarah, haven't you watched that?
Yes, teacher. I like more the live action.
The live action. Do you remember who were the characters? There was a with a clock with a watch all the time. There was a what? He was always in hurry.
A rabbit.
Yeah, rabbit, exactly. Who else? There was this furious and grumpy woman with power, obviously. She was a powerful princess. No, princess, no. Yeah. It wasn't a princess. It was the
Queen.
queen, obviously. Mhm. Who else? And there was a guy who offered Alice tea time. Who was that guy? A man with a big wallon hat. No? Okay, so let's listen to this poem. I'm not going to show you yet. Don't read the text yet. Just I want you to listen the rhythm of this poem. All right. Ignore the text.
10.9 You Are Old, Father William, by Lewis Carroll.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain, but now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why, I do it again and again. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason of that? In my youth, said the sage, as he shook his grey locks, I kept all my limbs very supple. By the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box, allow me to sell you a couple. You are old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than suet. Yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, said his father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. You are old, said the youth. One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever, yet you balanced an eel on the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever? I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough, said his father. Don't give yourself airs. You think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs.
Okay, he repeated several times one expression. Do you remember? You what? No, don't you remember the expression? You are old, Father
Old.
Williams. Yeah, you're old. By Lewis Carroll. So it's not Alice in Wonderland, unfortunately. Yeah, so we have to read this by the same writer. Look at the pictures over there. Yeah, there are two men, probably in Victorian times or even long before Victoria, the Queen Victoria in England, because they are wearing hats and they are wearing, you know, kind of blazer and formal clothes. Yeah, look at his picture that you've got there. What's happening here? He's having a feast. Yeah. All that chicken or all that turkey for him. No. And I don't know what that is. It looks like a snake, but it isn't a snake. It's kind of anguille. Anyways, on the right side, on the other page, you have some vocabulary words, adjectives. Some of them are adjectives, some of them are nouns or verbs. Yeah, you see. And what is the author trying to say here? What is the writer? Well, he's trying to say a poem to have some rhythm of certain words. Yeah, certain words. For example, the first one, I will show you just the first one. Yeah. You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your ears it is right? It has like a rhythm, head with hair, head, more or less, they rhyme. All right, so let's listen again this poem, and this time choose a word from here, from the ones that you have over there. Can you see the poem?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Then we play.
10.9 You Are Old, Father William by Lewis Carroll.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain, but now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why, I do it again and again. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason of that? In my youth, said the sage, as he shook his grey locks, I kept all my limbs very supple. By the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box, allow me to sell you a couple. You are old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than suet. Yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, said his father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. You are old, said the youth. "One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever, yet you balanced an eel on the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever?" "I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough," said his father. "Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs."
Yeah, the purpose, as I said before, it was some rhythm of certain words. They have to rhyme more or less in order to create the poem, no? Sometimes it doesn't make sense, poem, but just get an idea of a moral. Sometimes there are fables which have morals. In this case, poems. It is like metaphorical, and it's a metaphor. So it's not literal. Yeah. Okay, so let's revise here. In my youth, no, en mi juventud. In my youth, Father William replied to his son. Okay, let's, who would like to read? Elizabeth would like to read. Thank you. In my youth.
In my youth, Father William replied to his son, "I feared it might injure the brain, but now I'm perfectly sure I have none. Why I do it again and again."
Oh yeah, like me. Yeah, that's why I shave. No, well, I don't shave. I just cut very short. Next, Jessica Sanchez. You are all.
Yes, teacher. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned it before, and I have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turn a bag some salt in at the door? Pray, what is the reason of that?
Great. What is the reason of that? Okay. Next, please, Litzy. In my youth.
In
Uh-huh.
my youth, said the sage, as he shook his gray
It's there.
locks, I
Locks.
kept all my limbs very supple by the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box.
Sit in the walls. Allow me to sell you a couple. Yeah. His great locks, he's referring to his I'm not sure here if it's referring to one part of the body. Locks, meaning it has to do with hair. Huh? Okay. I kept all my limbs very supple. Yeah, supple. What does supple mean? It means, wait a minute. Supple. It means bending and moving easily and gracefully, flexible. So sometimes people who work in circles, they move their limbs very supple and like flexible. By the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box, allow me to sell you a couple. I think it's like a oil, that ointment. Ointment, meaning, yeah, smooth, oily preparation, yeah. You are all, said the youth, your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than what? Here. Than what?
Sweat.
Sweat, yeah. Sweat is a part of animal's body. Cook, obviously, is the hard white fat on the kidney, yeah, on the kidney and loins of the cattle. Sometimes sheep sometimes other animals to make food, including puddings, pastry, and mincemeat. Yeah. You know that there are empanadas.
Yes.
It's like the stuff inside the empanadas. The hard white fat, it says. Yet you finish the goose. Ah, yeah, that's the goose. It's not chicken, it's not dog, it's a goose, ganso with the bones and the what?
Big.
Yeah, the big. Pray, how did you manage to do it? Marco, in my youth.
What?
Continue. In my youth,
Yeah.
said his father.
Argued each is case.
Yes, his case. And a
And
muscle.
the muscular strength, and which it gave to me to my job
My
has
jaw.
lasted the rest of my life.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense here. I took the law and argued each case with my wife. You know that the relationship is a little bit complicated. The muscular strength which it gave to my jaw, no, like arguing with your wife. It's like good exercise for, you know, having a big mouth in order to eat properly. So as I said, these poems don't make any sense. Next part, Sarai, you are all, said the youth, sorry.
You are all, said the Jew. One would hardly suppose that your eye was a seat as
Steady?
ever. Yes. Yet you balance an eel on the end of your nose. What made you so awful clever?
Yeah, clever. Yeah, eel is that animal, but it's from the sea. I don't know why it is related here. It's an animal from the sea. Eel. Steady, that means like fijo, yeah, steady, that your eye was steady as ever. Yet you balance an eel on the end of your nose, what makes it awfully clever. And it says, I have answered 3 questions. That is enough, said his father. Don't give yourself, what is it? What's the word?
Airs?
Yeah, airs. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such?
Stuff.
Yeah, stuff. That expression, don't give yourself airs, it means like no, don't hope yourself to hear more about me. No, it's like saying that don't give yourself airs. It means to act in a way to show one is better than other people. She's very rich, but she doesn't give herself ears. It says to think or behave as thought one is superior to others or better than one really is. Like don't show up, don't show off. Yeah, don't give yourself airs. Don't show. No seas presumir. Yeah, it's another way to say that. Or I'll kick you downstairs. Well, poems are like that. And how old do you think the son and his father are? Because you know that it's the father and the son. How old do you think they are? Probably. I think they are maybe the old man is on his 60s. What about this guy, his son? How old do you think he is?
Maybe in his 30s.
Maybe in his 30s, in his late 20s. Well, as you can see, it was written in the 1860s, and the vocabulary is quite different. Besides that, I think this poem is adapted. It's adapted because the real, it should be different, so different. English in those periods of time, it were totally different. It was totally different. Which words can you describe the father? Which words would you describe this guy, the father?
Eccentric.
Yeah, eccentric. Only that?
What's witty?
Witty, showing or characterized by quick and inventive verbal humor. Yeah, ingenious, ingenioso, ingenious.
Okay, I think it's witty.
Witty, yeah. What about the son? Do you know what is nosy? No, nosy, metiche. Which person is nosy? The father or the son?
The son.
Yeah, the son, because why can you do that? What else? The father, eccentric, witty, probably judgmental, no? It's a person who judge, criticize, or either it can be the son. All right. Then we have other poem. It says some school children wrote poems model on Lewis Carroll. I think it has to do with English. They are related to poems and the grammar. Here we have another example. You are old, Uncle John. The young girl did say, yet you spend 6 hours a day at the gym and you jog down the road before break of day. Pray, why keep yourself so very trim? And then we have another. In my youth, Uncle John replied to his niece, I was hugely, disgustingly fat, but now I've met young lady from Greece. Motivation has got rid of that. Yeah, do you understand why the uncle is always at the gym? Or no? Do you understand? Because he's interested in a woman, no? In a young lady. That was the motivation, that he spends lots of hours in the gym. Now you can do the similar poems, yeah, like this. This guy wrote a similar, alike Lewis Carroll poem about you are old, and then you say in my youth, say something. No? It's optional if you want to. All right, let's move on. We continue with the metaphors. Metaphors and idioms. Remember, these are not literal. Metaphors is something like something impossible to happen, or something out of context, or something it has nothing to do with reality. That's one characteristic of a metaphor or a poem. No, it doesn't have to be literal. Sometimes it's hidden in words. And in English, we have lots of idiomatic expressions. We know. I am not an English person. They have lots of interesting idiomatic expressions. For example, the other day I was driving to Cuernavaca from here, from Jujutla, and on my way to the motorway, it started to rain, and it was raining cats and dogs. It was raining cats and dogs. Literal is not that. When you say it is raining cats and dogs, it means that it's raining heavily. Heavily. Mhm. There are others like, I don't know if you remember, I'm not sure if it's in this level, but yeah, in Spanish, it is, me estás tomando el pelo. It means that not literally taking, pulling your hair, but is, are you making fun of me? Are you joking? In English, it's not pulling your hair, it's pulling my leg. Imagine that you've got a friend who never has a girlfriend, and suddenly out of nowhere, he got a girlfriend, a recent girlfriend, and he's getting married, and say, I am inviting you to my wedding. And then you say to your friend, are you pulling my leg? Are you pulling my leg? Is that real?
Mm.
Me estás tomando el pelo, because imagine you never saw this guy with a girl. So yeah, maybe he's making fun of him. No, are you pulling my leg? That is the expression, the idiomatic expression. Then we have an exercise number 2. Which of these sentences? First of all, which parts of your body do you associate with intelligence? Which part of your body?
The brain,
Brain, but
head,
the head, exactly. Emotions,
the heart,
the heart. Manual skills,
the hand.
yeah, hand, exactly. All right, in which sentences is the word in italics literal? Rephrase the words used metaphorically. For example, if you say, can you give me a hand? It doesn't say like literal, yeah, literal doing this. Yeah, give me a hand. What does it mean? Give me a hand. So I cut my hand and take it. What is that?
For
What is
help.
that? Yeah, asking help.
Asking
Exactly.
help.
Number 2, Elizabeth, can you read, please?
She's so clever. She's heading for great things in life.
So when I'm saying I'm heading, I am not doing like that, right? I am not doing this. What am I referring to? What do you think it refers? I am not doing this.
She's very bright, intelligent.
Yeah, she's really intelligent, brilliant. She's going for good things. She's succeeding. Succeeding is the proper word. Number 3, who would like to read? Who says me? Marco?
Yes. 3. But she's not all big-headed. Big-headed, it's a person that their self-esteem it's above.
Kind of. Big-headed, it's arrogant.
Yeah.
Number 4, Sarai?
We shook hands and introduced ourselves.
In this case, it's literal, no?
Yes.
We shook hands. Nowadays, with this pandemic, it doesn't exist anymore. shaking hands. We have forgotten that. Instead, what do?
The
We
fist.
fist. Yeah, it's called fist. 5. 5. Jessica, my daughter.
Yes, my daughter has a very good head for business.
What do you
Does
think it
she?
means?
I that she's good at business.
Yeah,
like-
she's good.
Yeah.
Do you have a head for something, guys?
Yes.
For what?
Do math.
Doing maths. Oh, that's great. I'm terrible. That's why I decided to go just for English. I'm head for English. The only subject I was good at. Number 7, Litzy. She shouts.
She shouts aloud, but she's got a heart of gold. I think this phrase refers that the person is kind.
Mhm. Yes, heart of gold. Yeah. I think in Spanish would be corazón de pollo, no? Heart of gold. It's in English. Number 8. What about Ellie again?
After a hair-to-hair talk, things are much clearer now.
Heart to heart talk can mean honest, no? Honest without telling lies, without hiding something. Honest talk. Sometimes we have it with.
They are being honest to each other.
Exactly. And finally, Marco, I trained
To be a lawyer, but my heart wasn't in it.
Yeah, so literally you have what's that?
I think maybe his brain, his head was able to be a lawyer, but he took his heart and decided that don't study that career, no, with the feelings, not the brain.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. When you decide your passion, no? Another synonym of my heart, your passion is not, lawyer. Maybe it's something artistic. Yeah, I've known some friends who study a career and they decided to go for other careers.
Yes.
And they are they were pressured by their parents. Sometimes parents put pressure on them and they decided to train, but they don't like them and their hearts are in different careers. Okay, guys, we don't have time. We won't do this exercise. So I want you to do this exercise. It's for homework for tomorrow. Complete the sentences with one of the expressions we have: face the fact, pulling your leg, goes to their head, sharp tongue, on its last legs, and finding my feet. Obviously, they are not literal, they are metaphorical, they are idiomatic expressions. So according to the context, choose one. And that's the only homework. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, guys.